This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics, including mental health, alcohol and substance use, as well as suicide. It may also include strong language. The viewpoints expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised. If you or someone you know needs support, please reach out to a trusted professional or a helpline. Welcome to Twist the Throttle, the podcast where we crank open the throttle on life's toughest rides. From mental health struggles to life on two wheels. We're here to have real, raw, unscripted conversations that break the stigma and help you navigate the road ahead. So grab your helmet, hit the road with us, and remember, it's still okay to pump the brakes. Together, we're shifting gears on mental health. Here's your hosts, Ambo and the Prez.
Well, Jeff, thank you very much for inviting me along to be a part of your little Twist the Throttle thing. I know it's our thing now.
It is now, mate. Yeah, we're in it now. So
I'm really excited to see what's going to happen between me and you. I'm pretty sure we can make some pretty amazing things happen, yeah?
Well, that's it. This isn't my first time behind the mic. It's definitely first time for you.
Pants off. I've seen the old pants off.
The no pants like they used to do with Lee through the Odd Socks.
I quite prefer to have my pants on.
Different aim for this one, I think. Mate. We'll keep this a little bit more aimed towards the motorbike stuff. And,
that's good.
Yeah, talk about...
Well, mate, I've been into motorbikes all my life, mate.
Yeah.
So,
but how old were you and started riding?
So my uncle come across from Scotland and he borrowed my dad's motorbike. He was delivering fish and chips in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I got the passion from them.
Yeah, nice. But Dad had the bike already?
Dad had the bike, yeah, a little DR125. It was a ripper bike.
Funny since you still got the DR now.
I love the DRs, mate.
Yeah.
I've had a few of them now.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a later starter on bikes myself. Like I was with the same woman for most of my high school till about 32, and she was dead against them. So shout out to Nat. How you doing?
Yeah.
Pretty much as soon as we split, the first thing I did was buy a bike, and that was a little GPX 250. Got a little photo on the page.
I know that one.
Right. The Aussie flag bike.
I had a few different crazy bikes. So GN 250s. I've had Triumphs, CBR 1000s. My current bike, the VFR 800. So I've had bikes.
A lot of sports bikes, a lot of dirt bikes.
That's all different, really. I've had dirt bikes all grown up farming. Quad bikes and stuff like that as well. Pretty cool.
Yeah, beautiful. And we have our project bike.
Oh, yeah. We're building.
We're building up.
81 Shovelhead.
Oh, the 81 Shovelhead. The splashed oil all over your garage the first time we kicked it.
That was unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Good moment in our friendship.
Exactly right.
I don't think you have ever looked at me with such disdain as what the hell have you got me into here?
I was very shocked. Give it a kick and all of a sudden, big puddle of oil.
That was hilarious.
We did end up getting it going. I took it for a ride around the block. She's a good runner, mate.
That's going to be amazing bike.
It's going to be an awesome bike, mate.
Your vision has definitely come a long way from where we started. So we're going to do a lot of deep diving on ourselves. We're going to try and get some guests in on this show as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we're going to get some people in from the motorbike community. I've reached out to a couple of people already to get some guests, a couple of them from our club, a couple of them from outside that are already keen.
That's good.
So today's more about just a little introduction. We've got 3 minutes in. We can go as long as we want to today or as long as we need to.
How long do you reckon we should really make it, mate? I reckon half an hour?
Half hour episodes. Yeah. The big danger of doing a podcast for the first time is just sitting here waffling on. We haven't really sat down and talked about much of a plan, but introducing ourselves was a big part of it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so
I'm a Kiwi. I've just exposed that. I live in Australia, though.
No one would have picked that up, bro.
Yeah, I know. Can't beat them, join them. I've been here a long time now.
Yeah, you have.
Since I was 20, roughly.
Yeah. I think you and I have known each other coming up to 15 odd years now, I reckon.
JJ days.
Yeah, so I'm not real good at math and remembering stuff like that.
A bit less than that. Probably we go 10 to 13-ish, I think.
Yeah.
Time flies, man. I'm getting old.
About-
42 now. So
you may hear me coughing a little bit off on the side here. These getting old shit's overrated.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, purpose of the podcast. What's your aim? What do you want to get out of this?
Look, mental health is a massive thing. I wouldn't say I've. Okay, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I don't talk to a lot of people about my
Exactly,
mental
yeah.
health issues, and I think that's the stigma. You don't talk to a lot of people
That's
about it.
it's my big thing as well.
I think knowing you, Jeff, I've managed to bring my head around it. You know, it's okay to talk about
Yeah,
things that are wrong in your life, yeah?
exactly. You don't want to focus on it. It's one of those things they say where if you only think about the bad stuff, all that happens is the bad stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
you can't just brush over it and pretend it doesn't exist either.
No, you can't. And you don't want to burden other people with your problems, but if you've got something going on, it's okay
Yeah.
to talk it out and nut it out. Yeah?
Definitely. There's different. I've battled depression for a good part of my life, not knowing. Recently diagnosed ADHD, which just makes so much of the other shit make sense now. It's one of those things where you tell like a couple of my friends from way back, like, oh, I got diagnosed ADHD, and they're like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. Someone could have told me.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
made life a bit easier. Funny part of that was going through the diagnosis for that was talking to my mum, and I was like, is there any stories from me being a kid that sound like that type of thing? And she's like, no, you were just a boy. You're just full of energy all the time and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, like the therapist needs like some examples and stuff. She goes, no. And then she told a story about like they couldn't get me to sleep, so they used to have to like pin me down until I like wriggled myself.
Okay, that's
around. I'm like, well, that's kind of what they're looking for, Mum. Like, so yeah, it was a good, funny story from.
Yeah,
from
we're all naughty as kids, mate. I grew up, my parents, they worked hard to provide for us kids, yeah. Dad
Yeah,
was in the Navy.
Yeah.
They're business owners.
Yeah,
Mum and dad would come home, feed us, and then go back to work again, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, being
I worry sometimes. I've got little kids, and I do very similar to them, even though I am home. They kind of go off and do their own thing.
yeah, no, it's a good way to grow up as well, though.
Yeah.
Like a bit more independent.
It's
There's
different environment over here in Australia, though, with, New Zealand's a lot more trust thy neighbour and whatnot, whereas here,
you're not as trusting.
nah.
Yeah, it can happen, mate. Like it's I think with kids,
Anyway.
no matter what you do, they're going to end up doing their own thing anyway. No
Mm.
matter how much I had the conversation with my daughter, who's a bit older now. She's not 28, I think. She's just moved over to the Manchester. I said it's a funny day the day you work out that your parents don't know everything. They were just bluffing their way through it, trying to do their best.
Well, we're all bluffing our way through it, mate.
Yeah.
So when it comes to depression and whatnot, I cope. Oh, I'm a YouTube addict,
Yeah.
and I tend to just fucking
So
veg out.
bit more of
But-
bit of a zone out type thing.
Zone
Yeah,
out,
your way of
Think
coping
about
with things is
something
go
else.
somewhere else. Yeah, distraction.
My world's changed a little bit. Of a close friend of mine doesn't work with me anymore. He was
Yeah.
he was my go-to.
Yeah,
And we'd bounce off one another.
yeah. Yeah.
I struggle without him. I miss you, buddy.
I know who you're talking about. He's a really good bloke, actually.
Yeah, he's a top bloke.
Yeah, so we've got different types of coping mechanisms we use for our mental health. There's medications, which we've both
Yeah, I've been on the medication.
tried.
Not a big fan, to be honest. I don't like
Yeah, look,
who I am.
When I first tried it, there was like I think 2 or 3 different ones they put me on before I actually found one that did make a difference. The first one just made me numb.
Mm.
Yeah, there wasn't there was no happy, there was no sad. There was just sort of
That's exactly how I felt. I didn't
just sort
like
of
that.
going along. I'm like, this isn't what it's supposed to be like.
And then I tried another one. So I had that one, and the benefits of that one was I couldn't ejaculate.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah,
So my ex-partner,
got the benefits.
she
of
quite loved that.
that.
But I was not a big fan of hour and a half sessions
Yeah.
when you're a 2-minute man.
Yeah, I remember the first time they told me, they go like, "Oh, it's going to be really hard for you to come. You might lose weight, and you're going to concentrate more." And I'm like,
that.
"Okay, this is why isn't everyone on this?"
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think I was I was on different brands and different sorts after I got back from WA, and for about 10 years I was on different types of antidepressants.
Mhm.
I think the biggest change in my life was getting sober.
Yeah.
So don't have an alcoholic beverage that's actually a depressant to your system every day, and all of a sudden you don't need the antidepressants as much, funnily enough.
There are things that you change in your life. Like I was on antidepressants. I wasn't feeling very good, and the doctor said, "Look, we're going to check you on some antidepressants." And I was for a little bit. 'Cause I was having troubles at work. I was getting busy. I was getting stressed out.
Yeah.
I had a week off of stress leave.
I remember
I just couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
My whole body shut down. I had holidays coming up, and I was meant to do all these amazing things on the shovel head in the shed.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
That's fine.
I was-
You don't.
I know it's okay now, but my old boss left while I was having depressive states.
Yeah.
I didn't get to say goodbye. It was terrible. So I got on the medicine again, but then it just I just didn't feel like it was right
wasn't
for
the right
me.
one. Yeah. So, excuse me.
You're right, mate.
There are. What was I going to say? No, I fucking forgot my thought here.
It's important to go and get.
Yeah,
If you're not happy with it,
there's
go.
different reasons for depression. There's the chemical imbalance in your brain, which needs the medication. And then there's environmental stuff, like stuff you're actually going through at the time. Like you say, like stressed at work, overloaded.
It's important to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah. So if you can talk about that with somebody, maybe medication's not the right path. Like,
yeah.
by the way, we are not professionals. I'm not giving advice and telling you to go take off your medicine or whatever.
We're just talking about it.
I'm just saying this is my experience with it. Like if it's an environmental thing and the environmental thing stops, getting off antidepressants is one of the more difficult things to do because it messes with your brain chemistry. So
it's twice now. He's given me a very high dose
straight off the bat.
Yeah, like you don't feel very good.
Yeah, it takes 2 weeks.
Got to stick with it.
Yeah, it takes 2 weeks to notice that it's actually helping, and then it takes another month. Like you can't just stop. You've got to dose. You've got to slowly get off it.
I just stopped, mate.
Oh, really?
I was all right.
Yeah.
It's like I'm
probably
very, very proud of you, mate, because you're sober. And I'm not a big drinker. I never really have been a big drinker. Well, my ex-partner was a terrible drinker.
Yeah.
Bottle of wine every night.
Yeah.
And just blind drunk. And that's fucking, and I used to stay sober because I just didn't want to have to fucking deal with it.
Both of you off your nut would have been hard to deal with.
Oh, and kids don't want to see that sort of jazz. I mean, everybody has their own problems as well, yeah? Like, she made me go on antidepressants when really it shouldn't have been me, mate. It should have been her.
She was the cause of the problem, not you.
We figured that out.
No, look, it's no one's perfect in a relationship. That's not what I meant by that. But yeah, we all bring different things. I've definitely had issues in relationships because of.
I think that's a whole different episode by itself, mate.
Yeah.
Bad
we can
relationships.
go on forever about all of this stuff. You don't realize the shit you're putting someone else through until.
I put up with so much, mate.
Yeah.
And, it's to my detriment as well.
Yeah.
But I'm coming out on the other side a lot better.
Better person.
I mean,
really.
I held a lot of hate for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't anymore. I don't care.
That's good.
Yeah. It's good, mate.
It's better for the kids that way too.
Oh, yeah, we can talk to one another.
Yeah.
Joke.
Well, that's it. My ex-wife and I were never enemies. Maybe when I first made the decision to leave, but it wasn't the best circumstances and everything around that.
Yeah.
But there's never an issue. Like, ask my kids, we both talk shit about each other, but not to the extent that it was anger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was never evil or never.
I was a spiteful person.
Yeah.
I was pretty spiteful for a while.
Yeah.
Just hating somebody takes more energy than what it does.
Yeah.
So just go, I really don't care. She can't do nothing to me. There's never, ever going to be a time where I can go back to it, even though I still love her.
Yeah.
And that hurts sometimes. It's hard to see her, I think a different episode we can talk about stuff like this. It gives the listeners something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I think
there's more trauma in the future.
Breakdown in tears. Oh no.
Hey, look, it can happen, mate. And if it does, that's what this is about. Like, the whole reason I wanted to start this podcast is it's about that stigma. I always make the joke, like when the guys in our club, I tell every single one of them, every time I see them, I say, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the first time it
took a long time for me to accept that after my little brother died.
Yeah.
Today is the day.
Yeah. Well, just
16 years ago.
Literally just mentioned this to me. Yeah.
It did take me a while to get okay with people calling me bro because my bro's not here anymore.
My brother. Yeah. But you gotta earn that title.
As time, still kind of do.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, look, it's my whole thing is like if you bring something to my life that makes my life better, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm not gonna, I'm
all about pumping people up now than bringing them down.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But it's like what's the old saying? Where's my flowers? Yeah, don't bring flowers to my funeral. If I'm making you happy now, tell me about it.
Exactly.
That's it. I'd rather know now that you're a valuable person to me.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah, all good. All right. So the tagline of our show is shifting gears on mental health. So one of the things we want to try and work towards is giving our listeners a bit of advice, a bit of things that we've done. We mentioned self-diagnosis. We mentioned having the right people around us.
There's always signs. There's signs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get short with a lot of people and snappy.
Yeah.
And I do sometimes. I've got a fucking bad attitude at work sometimes, but it's kind of comical at the same time.
One of my favorite things about you is the role you play in our club.
Yep.
Is the enforcer type, so
big scary dude.
The big scary dude who's actually the biggest teddy bear I've ever met. But
got to earn that.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. There's so many times that you want to go and rip someone in half, and I'm like, I'm going to handle this one, mate.
That was hilarious. We had a ride on just recently for a breast cancer awareness ride, and there was one rider who decided it was a great idea to go and run ahead of the pack and get to a scouting spot and take photos.
Yeah.
And
look,
but when he was
good idea.
When he was doing this, he was causing a lot of problems with the other people on the ride.
Big part of bike riding in a group is the formation has to be, you need to trust the people around you.
Well, this guy
was not getting the trust from
Which
people
is
around
okay,
him.
but nobody ever actually spoke to him and asked him to do this thing. And then, so we got to one of the stops and it'd been made very aware to me that this guy was causing problems. Yeah. And I said, it's okay, I'll go and deal with it. And Jeff was like, no, you won't. No, you won't. I'll deal with this one. I was like, you take all the fun out of it.
Mainly because I'm the politician of the group who tries to make sure everyone has a good time. And this guy wasn't intentionally being a problem.
No.
If he was being a dickhead on purpose,
it would have been different.
It would have been a different story. I would have been, hey, go grab that guy for me. Yeah. But it was just a miscommunication at the start. He thought he was getting permission from the leader of the ride at the time to do what he was doing with a thumbs up as he went past every time.
I can understand how he thought that,
And he wasn't part of our club.
Yeah, he was.
But a friend of. So.
He had pure intentions.
He did. Yeah, he was just misguided.
Yeah.
He's probably listening. How you doing?
I hope he is. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. So we have our club. We have built a support network around us where
there's not one person in our club I couldn't go to and talk about my problems. And
exactly right.
And I don't want to. Our club is the best thing that's ever happened to me. To be honest.
Everyone has their own little support networks, and if you don't, find one.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots out there.
The whole reason our club came about was because I knew what I had in my head as a vision of what I wanted to join, and I couldn't find it.
But in saying that, Jeff, back then I don't know if I really had anybody bounce off.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my partner, and she was not the best thing in the world. I couldn't open up and talk to her about men problems.
No,
I really believe that men go through postnatal depression.
Absolutely, mate. Like,
I really do. Like,
well,
I struggled, but you don't know who to talk to.
You know, it's not a postnatal thing. Like, it's more you went from you and your partner, having fun, doing your thing, and now all of a sudden there's another person you're responsible for. Yeah, and women have the chemical difference in their body, but your life is now completely different. You've gone from just someone it's not just about. Yeah.
But I don't think I ever had anybody to talk to.
Yeah.
And it's not something I could call up and talk to my parents about.
Yeah.
And
my dad's, he recently passed away, his famous advice was, yeah, right, well, if you don't like your life, change it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm talking about my marriage, and that's not a one-line problem we're talking about here. Like
old school, mate.
Yeah. Being able to talk to our group, like you say, there's not a single member that you couldn't call up at any time. Like, my phone runs 24/7 of people messaging me.
I am the big scary dude of the group, but I don't think I'm not approachable.
Oh, not at all, mate. Yeah, no, you're one of my go-tos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
I'm always there for you.
Yeah.
Phone's always available to anybody.
Yeah. My low points are when I'm like, hey, I'm just going to come over and sit in your shed and watch you do stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
because
it's motivation.
I'm not. If I pick up a tool, I make you nervous. So. Yeah. The old sexy fingers mechanic that I am. Hey, I fixed this, so I'm going to bring it over so you can fix it properly. Yeah. And
all right.
Probably did more damage than I needed to. The unofficial mechanic of the club.
Just good at doing stuff, mate. You're growing up. Something breaks, you fix it. Yeah. You learn a lot.
The funny thing for me is, out of all of our friendship groups, I'm probably the least mechanically minded of the crew. And in my family, I'm the most mechanically minded. So, like, everyone's like, come to Jeff for that stuff.
Jeff knows
on
all
my
about
family
it.
side, and then like on the other side of the coin, I'm like, nobody trusts me with a screwdriver. Like, it's quite hilarious.
Everybody has their own strengths, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big power talker.
Yeah.
But you definitely are, mate. I don't particularly like the sound of my own voice, but
hey, we
were struggling through this. We'll be right.
Welcome to podcasting. The first time you hear your voice back, you're like, fuck, do I sound like that? Yeah. I love one thing about, I talk for a living. Yeah, my job is just talking. Outside of work, I talk very quietly because I have to yell over machinery as part of my job. So everyone's like, I can't understand you, blah, blah, blah. But then when I do the podcast, everyone's like, wow, your voice is so deep. I'm like, yeah, this is just amplified by the equipment, not this is how I normally talk.
Well, I do a lot of talking as well.
Yeah. More yelling at drivers.
Oh, not so much yelling at drivers. Clear and concise communication is a problem. We have a lot of Indian drivers at work, and I don't understand a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, they come in and they just, and you're like, wow, slow down, man. Just bit by bit. Yeah.
Cultural differences, things like that. Like, if I ask you, if you say something to me and I say, what? You'll speak up.
Exactly.
Or you'll try and speak a bit more clearly. I've had a few times with students of mine that you're like, I didn't catch that. You're like, sorry, what? What? Like, mate, if you're not going to speak
after the third
time, I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
After the second time, I pulled them up and said, dude, I don't understand you. You need to speak slowly, clearly, and then we can have a proper conversation.
Yeah. How's that go?
It goes well.
Yeah.
Mate, look at me. 6'2", 130 kilos. I'm massive. I'm a giant. 130, maybe that's a little bit light. Yeah, it is what it is. Look, I'm a happy man. I love my food.
No one's going to judge it, mate. As long as you're happy in yourself.
I am.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
I'm in a really good spot at the moment.
Yeah.
Might not be totally rich and totally successful is what I want, but I'm in a good spot.
Some of the most happy people I know are poor, and some of the most miserable I know are rich.
Money ain't going to make me happy, I don't think. Well, happier, maybe, but it really is not the crux of crux of life.
Yeah.
It's not the be all and end all, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
As long as my bills are paid,
yeah,
my kids are fed,
exactly.
I really don't care.
Yeah, all good. All right, so we're going to wrap things up with our on a go home part. We're going to call it a little fuel check. Yeah, we're going to give you guys a challenge every week, something different. This week's a nice, easy one. Yeah,
I think so.
Want everyone to grab their phones. Yeah, scroll through the list of names in there.
Contacts. Go through your contacts.
Go through your contacts. Anybody that you haven't spoken to in the last 12 months, 6 months, pick one person. Yeah, one person you know you'd love to actually reconnect with. Just shoot them a message. Give them a fuel check. Yeah, how you
That's
doing?
a great idea.
How you doing? What's going on?
It's a great idea.
Yeah, might be what they need in that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
fuck, haven't spoken to you in ages. Might reignite something else.
Exactly right. All right. So, thanks for joining us. Hopefully, you made it through our first episode.
We'll come back and listen to it again.
Come back and see where we take this thing.
I'd love some feedback.
Yeah, give some feedback. We've got our socials will all be listed on the show notes for today. So we're going to try and work out the transcript for the show as well. So,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, broader reach if we can.
Yeah, no, looking forward to send us some comments, send us some love. Don't like it, tell me to shut the fuck up. I don't mind either way. Thank you very much.
Less bike talk, yeah.
Thanks a lot for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Ambo. Thanks for riding with us today on Twist the Throttle. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Remember, no matter how tough the road gets, you're never riding alone. Stay safe, stay open, and catch you on the next ride. Keep that throttle twisted.